There are 5 types of conflict, or conflict situations. The first one is no conflict at all. You get what you want. There's no conflict. The second is a choice between 2 things you like. This is called an approach-approach conflict. You want to approach both of them. You want either one of them. So we tend to choose the one that is closest to us, whichever one we can get to easiest. The third possibility is a choice between 2 things you don't like. This is called an avoidance-avoidance conflict. You don't want either one. None of the above will be your preference. The fourth option is getting something you like, but also having to get something you don't like. It is receiving food and a shock at the same time. It's having a good point and a bad point together. The fifth possibility is a choice between 2 things, each of which has a good point and a bad point. This would be putting a rat in the middle of a maze with food and shock at each end. The rat, like us, runs back and forth all day, not making a decision. I want this one, but I don't like that. I want this one, but I don't like that. This is the toughest conflict to have. An approach-approach conflict is a choice between 2 things that you like. It's choosing a date from 2 options that are both wonderful, or 3, or 4. Approach-approach conflict is a choice between things that you like. It's choosing who you go to prom with when both are wonderful options. It's choosing where you get your groceries when both are equally distant from you, both are wonderful, both are cheap. It is a choice between 2 things, either one of which would work fine. What we tend to do in an approach-approach conflict is to make a choice on convenience. Which one is closer, which one is easier to get to, which one do we do on a whim? Whatever happens to be close to us is the one we pick. Approach is Dahlen and Miller's way of saying that we like something. It's an operational definition rather than an internal one. Rather than saying we want something, we like something, this is a way of defining it in terms of behavior. Think of an infant or a toddler who likes something. They approach it. They get closer to it. In experimental terms, you can have a rat in a maze, and if it likes something, it will approach it. If it has not been fed for a while and you put food there, it will approach the food. So approach is a getting closer to process. What's interesting about approach is that the closer you get to something, the better it looks. From a distance, it looks good. But as you approach, it looks better and better and better as you get closer. Every step is a step in the right direction from your point of view. A choice then between 2 things that you want to approach is easy. It's done on whatever is convenient, on whatever time of day it is, where you happen to be, on some other thing other than the actual characteristics of the event itself. That's an approach. It is choosing between 2 candidates that you like, between 2 people you want to date, between 2 cars you want to buy, between 2 cameras you want to rent. Whatever you're choosing, when it's approach, you can tell when you're going, well, it doesn't really matter. Where do you want to go to dinner? I don't care. Where do you want to go to dinner? That's an approach conflict. An avoidance conflict is trying to stay away from 2 things you don't like. Avoidance, in Dahlen and Miller's terms, is when you're a distance away from something, it doesn't look good to you. So from far away, the situation might look, well, that's sort of dangerous. But the closer you get to it, the more dangerous it looks. A person you're dating and you know only slightly seems like a really nice person, but the more time you spend with them, the less you like them. That would be an avoidance kind of gradient. One of the fascinating things about approach and avoidance gradients is that the avoidance gradients are steeper. That is, as you get closer to an object that you like, the approach gradient goes up a little bit at a time. As you get closer to something you want to avoid, the avoidance gradient goes up quite rapidly. This leads us to our next conflict, the approach-avoidance conflict. In approach avoidance, you have both approach and avoidance. There's something you want, but something you don't want. Both characteristics are present. For a rat, this would be food with shock. You want the food, but you don't want to get shocked. It's a mild shock, and you're hungry, so the food is good, but you only want one part of it. You don't want the whole thing. Double approach avoidance conflicts are when you have a choice between two things, each of which has a good point and a bad point. This is the choice between going home for Thanksgiving and being with family that you don't really like, and staying where you are and being alone. The good point is you get to go home. The bad point is Uncle Fred is just crazy. The good point of staying where you are is that you don't have to travel, but you're going to be all alone. This is a double approach avoidance conflict. There's something you like and dislike about each option.